Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video we are going to talk about certain inbuilt functions which are there in SQL Server 2022 or even in the older versions. These functions are quite useful and they can help you to kind of divide your data or result sets into different ways, which will go through all those functions. And if you have not already subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe it, and please press the bell icon so that you get the notifications whenever I upload any video. So let's see how we can use these inbuilt functions. Primarily we are going to talk about 4 functions. There are so many other inbuilt functions like string functions, datetime functions, or numeric functions, but these functions are more like where you could manipulate the data and data sets based upon certain things. So the first function we'll talk about is a row number. Row number technically generates a serial number, just like 1, 2, 3, 4, and we can also use the row number to create certain partitions of the data, which we'll see. The partitions could be generated based upon any column or any criteria. The second function we'll talk about is a rank. It works like a row number but skips the value if 2 rows have the same value. So it's almost the same, but it would skip any number if 2 rows within a column has the same value. So let's say 2 rows has the same salary, like 3,000, so it would do that. DenseRank is another function that works like rank function but does not skip the number, so it means it's essentially a kind of a row number. And NTile is a function which can be used to equally divide the result set into parts based upon a column value. So let's say you want to divide the result set based upon certain departments or jobs. We could use all those, we could use an NTile function. So let's practically see how we can use this function to use all these functions for different use cases in our day-to-day development with the databases. So let's firstly see how we can use the row number function, because that's the first function we are going to talk about. Now let's say if we have a table with let's say EMP number, ename from employee, I could just use this, run this query, so it gives me the employee numbers and the e-names. Now technically if I want to generate a serial number, I could just use EMP number, name, and then I could use a row number function, and I could say over order by salary, and let's say I want to order it by descending from EMP. Now if you run this and click on run, so you would see you would get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on, just like a serial number from 1 till 14, because we have 14 records, but it's technically done with the help of a row number, and then we are using order by salary descending, so it's kind of ordering the rows into the descending order for the salary case. We could also use this row number for the purpose of, let's say, partitioning the data. Now if I try to copy this command and then maneuver this, I could just use, let's say, partition over let's say job, and then I will say partition by job and then order by salary. So we'll just use the same command, a little bit change with that of the partition. So if I run this, so you could see the row number is actually generated. So now it is generated 1, 2, which is done by partition by job. So let's try to understand more. We can display the job column also within the query so that we could understand it in a better way. So if you run this, so if you see, so it has categorized, created partitions with the help of job. So analyst are 2, and they are ordered by the salary. So the arrangement of the records within that partition would be the order by salary. So now you have 1 and 2, which is one partition. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, because you have 4 clerks. So this is 1, 2, 3, so managers and so on. This is technically just like when you group the data, so you get groups, but now those groups are being categorized as the row numbers also. So you could generate those row numbers. So this is how you could actually use the row number function. The second function we are going to talk about is rank. Now if I say select employee number, e-name, job, and then I say rank over, and I say order by salary, let's say descending from EMP. Now if you run this, and let's see what the result of this rank function is. So if you run this, you would get 1, 2, then 2. Why? Because the salary is same for this, and in order to make that work, so we can display the salary column over here. So you could just use that and run it. So you get 5,000, 3,000, 3,000. So 1, 2, 2. So this is given a rank for 2, 2. Now because it is repeated, so third number is gone, it is skipped, then it goes on 4, 5, 6, and so on. So it's just like a series, just like a row number we could use, but it skips your actual number once it is progressing. Now we could use the DenseRank function, which is just like the same, but it does not skip the serial number. So if I just use DenseRank over this, so I'll just try to use this function, run this. So now you would see it just generates that 1, 2, 2, and then you have a manager which comes as 3. So it is not technically like 4 because number 3 was skipped within the rank function. So it generates that kind of a serial number, but then it ranks them out and does not skip the actual functionality. So that's the DenseRank function, which is closely associated with the rank. And the last function which we wanted to discuss was NTile. Now it could technically be called as dividing the result set into, let's say, multiple categories or some kind of a category. So let's say we'll copy this and we'll paste it over here, and we'll say NTile, and I will say 3. I want to create 3 over order by, let's say, department number. Now if you try to run that, and let's say if you run this, so now you would see there's a new column which is created, and it is ordered by department number descending. So all these, so you could just, let's say, display department also, so that we can find it out how exactly it is doing that. I'll copy this, create this function column over here, and now I'll try to run this. And if you see, so this is department number 30, which is ordered by descending. So 30, 30, 30. So this is, let's say this is one group. So this is done by, like, it technically divides your rows into 3 groups, because I've given 3 groups. So this is one, which is technically 5, let's say, rows. Then another one, which is another, let's say, 5 rows, and then 4 rows for that. So let's say if you want to divide it by 2, so all the rows would be divided by 2, and then you could arrange it the way you want to display the data. So then it has 6 rows are there, and then it automatically divides based upon the internal setting of that NTile function. So this way you see that all those functions, they are inbuilt functions, and they could be used for manipulating different things. You have a row number for serial generation, you have a rank, kind of a serial number, but skips on, like it gives a rank to every row, skips the number if the 2 rows have the same value. DenseRank just does not skip that number, and NTile is to divide the result set into 2 parts or 4 parts or 6 parts. So whatever the parts you want to divide, so let's say you want the total 14 employees to be divided into 3 parts, okay, you could just use that and it automatically divides that stuff. I hope this video is gonna help you out and make you understand how these numeric functions, particularly like dataset functions, work, and they're going to help you in your daily working with the database development job. Thank you guys. I'll be back with some another video, so stay tuned. Goodbye.